I'm Dr. Tom Greiner, and I'm so glad you're watching today. We're going to pick up on a message by Matt Westfield on how to start and grow a business. He is a university professor, and he's got some great input. So let's just get right into Matt Westfield's message today, and then I'll come back and close this thing up.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, and thanks for being with us today. You are watching The Power to Create Wealth, featuring Entrepreneurs Assembly. Myself, Matt Westfield, is today's presenter, and we've been talking a lot about building companies because that's what we do. And we want to help you build your own company too, whether it's a small little company to help and facilitate locally and trade and or business locally, whether it's a regional type business you wish to launch, or possibly a national business or international business. The principles we're talking about through this series are all going to help you do that. The other thing that the principles of this series do is we try to give you the ability to go out and act. It's not just about learning how to build a company. It's you have to have the tools to build the company, and you have to have the ability to be able to go out and do something that brings the business forward. And so we want to talk about some of those principles today. We also want to talk today about the specific ways to make money in business. And that's really what I'm going to talk about in this module, is the different ways that we can all make money legally and legitimately by providing a product or a service or something that is in need in your area, your region, your community, perhaps your country. And we've all seen it, but one of the things that we want to talk about is how do we look for those opportunities? How do we see, just in our everyday life, ways that we can provide value, provide a service or a product, or some way to help our fellow people in our community or in our city or in our country. And this is something I've spent my life doing, and I'm hoping to help you to do the same thing. What we want to do is we want to figure out ways to make money in business. And sometimes, like me, I'll have several things going on. So if one of the businesses isn't doing well, maybe one of the other businesses will be doing well. But let's start with one business and one focus, because that's what we all need to do, especially if we've never built a company before. If we've never built a company, we need to realize it's a lot of work and it's a lot of tough times until we can get to where we're making money. Sometimes it goes quickly, sometimes it takes longer. And a lot of it depends on our network and the people in our area. So we're going to talk about these things, and then I'm going to leave you at the end of this little module with ways to get people in your community together to help each of you manifest your business and help support and sustain your family and the people in your network, because that's what this is about. And after all, even though I'm here way back here in America, we're all in this together. So let's start talking about ways to make money. First, I'd like to talk about starting a little solo business. One person, one business. And it may be just having vegetables and necessities for your family where you maybe plant a few extra. Maybe instead of planting 50 plants of corn, maybe we plant 100. So now we use the 50 for our family, and we have those other 50 plants where we can barter or trade for other things, like either meats or other things that we need to keep our family eating and prospering during tough economic times. And we know all around the world there are tough times for you, for me, and for other people. We're all sharing this world together, and we can all help each other get better in this world too. And that's what I'm hoping to bring you a little bit today. So let's talk about the first thing. First thing, obviously, in this one of the simplest businesses that we can start and one of the easiest ways to make money is to provide a service. Services can take on all kinds of different shapes and forms. I own 2 service companies right now, and one of them is planting plants and taking care of people's environment. And here in America, that can be a big deal. All right, there are other things too. There's construction, there is traffic, there are all kinds of services that we can do and we can observe and identify in our communities. One of the things I like to do is I like to talk to people and find out what they need. What are they missing? These are big things. So, service business, very easy to start. It often can be done with one person. I can often do it without having many tools. Perhaps I'm just delivering from one person to another and I'm making money on that delivery. Perhaps I'm doing delivery like we've seen or heard about with Uber. Maybe we're just on a bicycle delivering from a store to somebody in our neighborhood who can't get out of the house. Maybe they have young children. So maybe we can help them do some services to help them provide for their children, to help bring necessities to them. All of these things can be a service. A service could also be, there's delivery, there's errands. Maybe if we have some skills and some tools, we can go help them make their houses a little bit more secure or a little bit more weatherproof. There are so many things that we can do with the natural skills that we've all grown up with. And so I want you to think wholeheartedly today, what things could we do and what areas have we identified in our community, in our village, in our city, that is not being taken care of? All right, so one of the ways that we can do that is to talk to other people. Maybe we have a problem and we find other people that have that same problem. And maybe if we can solve it for ourselves, we can solve it for them too. And it's amazing how you'll find that a need unfulfilled is not just a need unfulfilled for me. It's a need unfulfilled for you and for other people as well. So let's think about a service, because a service, again, can be very simple and easy and very inexpensive to start. Another way to make money is to maybe look to build a product. And a product would be something, and it could be the vegetables, it could be helping people get shoes or clothing. There are so many things that we can do that are product oriented. The difference with the product oriented is we often have to have money to obtain the product or make the product before we can make money on that product. So there's quite a bit of difference between product and service. And I often say service is easier because I can perform the service and make money right away. The product, I have to figure out how to get the product or build it or make it, and then I have to figure out how to get it to the people who need it. So there are many more pieces to a product-based company often than there are to service. What interests you? What need do you see in your community that's unfulfilled? And if you're not sure, how do you find out? By going out and talking to people, by getting people together in the community. And you're not trying to sell people things, you're trying to find out where the issues lie, where we don't have something that is necessary for our community to prosper. And that's what this is about, helping each other prosper. So let's look for a product that may be easy to obtain or easy to make and easy to turn around and provide to people in our neighborhood, in our community. All right? There are other things we can do. Suppose you're a farmer and you have spent your years farming, but you don't have time to farm for somebody else. Maybe you can consult. And what is consulting? Consulting is being an expert in a particular area and taking that expertise that has helped you and providing that expertise to somebody else. It's kind of like what I'm doing here. I've built companies for 40 years, my own and others, and I've learned things that are not in any books. I've learned things that are not anywhere provided that I wished I would have learned 20 or 25 years ago. So we're here, myself and other people with Entrepreneurs Assembly, we're here to help you think differently about business and act. We can all have ideas about business, but it's about putting that first foot forward and taking the step to build that business. And if we take that first step, it's amazing there are people out there who want to help. There are people out there who want to buy what you're selling. There are people out there who will be excited to hear from you, but they don't know it if you don't go out there and talk to them. So let's talk about service business, product businesses, and consulting. Those are three primary ways where we can make money and provide an expertise and fill a void And that's the biggest thing. We don't want to do what everybody else is doing. We want to find a void, a place where people aren't looking or making money right now or providing a product or service that's needed. So product, a little bit harder to build than a service. Service can be very easy, and we can turn that service on a daily basis. I can go provide a service and get paid the same day. In a product, it's harder to do, often when we have to build it. So understand the difference between product and service. Then let's understand consulting. Consulting means I'm an expert, maybe in a service or a product, but I don't want to do this for you, but I'm going to teach you how to do it. And therefore, if I teach you how to do it, or you teach someone else how to do it, you have the right to be paid for that because you're an expert and you've done this before and you can teach others. That is very, very powerful, ladies and gentlemen, and a very easy way for you to help others build their businesses or build their prosperous lifestyle. That's what this is about. We need to help each other build communities, build like-minded communities, and help each other. That doesn't mean we have to sell to everybody we meet. We don't have to sell to everybody we meet. Maybe we meet somebody, they don't need what we're selling, but their brother does. So we don't try to sell them, we just tell them what we do, and we're passionate. We're experts, and we want them to know that we're the person to turn to should they have a need. So, product, service, consulting. Now, what others? If we start making a little bit of money, we can hire people to work for us. So say we have a delivery and I'm starting to make a little bit of money. I save a little bit of that money. Now I can hire somebody else to work for me and go do more deliveries. Now I've doubled my delivery because I can do deliveries and someone else can work with me and do deliveries. We bring the money together. I pay that person for their delivery, but we've made enough money to have a little bit more to go back into the new company. And now we're not just a delivery, we are a company because we have more than one person and we have several revenue streams. We're delivering to people. Maybe we're delivering groceries or food or products. Whatever it is, let's think about how we can make the life in our community better than it is now. And there's people out there who can help you. Not always is there money. We know that. I've learned that a lot of my companies, people won't give me money for. But I understand that if the customers are right, they'll give me the money. So this is a huge opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, for you right now today to think of ways to make money. Can I start a service business? And if I do, can I get enough people where I'm so busy that I can't deliver to everyone in my service business, I can hire somebody else to help me. Maybe it's a family member I hire. Maybe it's one of my kids or one of my siblings, my brother or my sister. It's often easier to start a business with people you know and family members. Why? Because we can trust them. We know these people. Instead of hiring somebody we've never met, we don't know if they will honor our business the way we would honor our business. Often, when we start a business and we need somebody to help, we look to family and friends. They may not have all of the expertise we need, but we can trust them and we know how they do things. So find people in your family and friends who think the way you do, want to go get ahead, change their lives, and help change other people's lives too. This is what the power of entrepreneurship is. It's not about having people give us money. It's about solving a problem. We're going to be talking about how to find value where others don't. And that's going to be one of the other modules that you're going to see coming out very, very soon here. Thank you for your time. Thank you for what you do. And please check out Entrepreneurs Assembly and look for our interactive sessions coming to you very soon over WhatsApp and Facebook. Thank you and be well. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks for being back with us. I'm Matt Westfield. This is The Power to Create Wealth, and we are Entrepreneurs Assembly. And check out Entrepreneurs Assembly at ea-global.org and look for follow-ups to these sessions that we're providing for you, because one of the goals is to get you folks together and get us together and meet and help each other answer questions, help each other figure out how to build companies. Okay? So thanks for being here. Today we're going to talk about root of an idea. And the root of an idea is, where do people around the world come up with ideas to start a company? How do they do that? Okay? There are 4 primary ways that we're going to talk about on how to build a company. The first one is, for those of you who've been in an industry, you've spent 3, 5, 10 years working in an industry, and you're an expert. And you're an expert in this industry, and you go around your town, your neighborhood, your village, your city, and you see that the big other companies that do these things, or the other industry experts who do these things, have overlooked something. And what they've overlooked, you believe to be important. And it's funny because I use this analogy in the United States where if you work for a giant international company and you go into the boss and you say, "Hey boss, I see $1 million opportunity." And the boss looks up and laughs at you because you're a $1 billion company. $1 million opportunity is very small. But in my opinion, if I'm a single small company or an industry expert, $1 million opportunity sounds pretty good to me. Does it sound good to you? Exactly. So if you've had years of expertise in an industry, I want you to look around and find a hole in the market that the other industry players haven't thought of, haven't seen the need to fulfill, or don't believe is profitable. That's where entrepreneurship begins. Spotting a problem, an unmet need, something unfulfilled that for some reason other players haven't seen. Doesn't mean your idea is a good one, but let's start with the root of an idea, and that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about how to come up with the way of thinking that creates entrepreneurship. My job is not to make you an entrepreneur, ladies and gentlemen. My job is to hopefully help you think differently about building a business and help you think differently about finding an opportunity. If we can do that, then everybody wins, and it's exciting. There's nothing more exciting than seeing your idea for a business come to fruition and have somebody pay you. The only thing I know of that's better than that is falling in love. So, and I believe that building a beautiful business is a lot like falling in love. But we have to vet it just like we do in a relationship. So, if you're an industry expert and you're out in the community or out in your market, what are they missing? What are the big players, those big giant international companies and those government entities, what are they missing that you see? Then how do you validate that idea before you spend any money? Why? Because I build companies without money. When I need the money, I'll get it. When I need the money and I deserve the money, I'll get it. So understand, building a company is not having people give you money. It's finding a problem to solve, solving the problem, the money will come, I promise. So, industry expert, that's the first one. So if you're an industry expert, maybe you're a farmer, maybe you're a telecom expert, maybe you're an expert at NGOs, maybe you're an expert at logistics, which is trucks and driving trucks and delivering. Maybe you're an expert at construction and building things. Maybe you're an expert in water. All of these things can parlay into a future that is beneficial for you and for others. And you may not have even thought of it yet. So if you're an industry expert, I beg you, look at the industry that you've been serving and figure out where there's an opportunity for you to build value and to address a need that the others have not addressed. Okay? So, industry experts, take note. What's the second way that businesses are built? What is the second type of person who would build a company? That second type of person is often the consumer, right? It is often the consumer, the customer. So here in America, you'll find that I will go in and I'll look for something at a store or a shop, and I can't find it. I'm trying to find this thing. I need to solve this problem at my house or at my business, and I can't find this little thing. So what do? Maybe I get some tape, maybe I get some wood, maybe I get some hammer and nails, and I build one of these things, this thing that I need at my house. And maybe it's to keep, I own a ranch, so maybe I need to build something to keep animals out of my garden or to keep predators away from my chickens. So I'm going to build something because I can't find exactly what I need. Do you know what happens then? Is at that point, my neighbor comes up and goes, hey, I've been looking for one of those too and I can't find one. And another person comes, hey, I was looking for one of those and I can't find one. And all of a sudden you go, wow, I'm not the only person with this problem. Maybe there's other people who have this same problem and I can solve it for me and for them. Boom. We often find ourselves patching together a solution where if we had time and the ability, we could make a really nice solution for a problem that exists right here at home. Right here in my house, my family's house, my neighbors, whatever. And if we do that a few times, we find that, my gosh, we could make a business out of this. It's very exciting when that happens, by the way, because I built businesses both as an expert and a consumer. The reason I built Entrepreneurs Assembly is because I found a need unfulfilled. I was a serial entrepreneur who wanted to work with other entrepreneurs to understand the journey they were on, the challenges they had. It wasn't to go sell them what I'm building. It was to find out, are there other people going through this journey and I'm not alone? It's very hard to build a company. And it's very hard when your family doesn't understand or they don't get it or your friends don't get it. But when I can find people who are on the entrepreneurial journey, not doing the same thing I'm doing, there's a spirit. There's an incredibly kindred spirit and a bond that entrepreneurs find. No matter what the business, this is what we at Entrepreneurs Assembly do. This is what I want to do with you, with all of my friends and my networks around America, around Europe, and especially our big network in Africa. We want to help build companies and communities of companies. So we're going to help you do that. So again, you're a consumer, you have a problem. Maybe other people in the community have the same problem. Maybe you're a business that has a problem. And all of a sudden you have to solve this problem for your own little business. Sure enough, other businesses have this problem. That's my challenge to you as an expert, as a consumer. The first two ways to build a company. Let's talk about the other ones. The third one that I like to talk about is the crazy inventor. This is the person that most of us know somebody who's always building things. They're building things in their garage or in their shed or out in back of the house or out in front of the house or in the main street of our community. We'll see men and women building things. And they sometimes build things that work, sometimes they don't. But the crazy inventor, they get their excitement not from being a business owner like you and I, they get their excitement from building things. These are a lot of the technical people or engineering type people. And often if we can find what they're building, the crazy inventor, and say, gosh, that little invention could really help the community in a specific way. We can help that inventor build a business around their inventions, because being an inventor and being a business person, an entrepreneur, are not the same thing. Just because you can make things doesn't mean you know how to sell them or get people to buy them. We know how to get people to buy things. That's in creating value. So let's talk about the fourth type of person who starts a business and the root of the idea. And that's what I call this. I call this the root of an idea because it has to start somewhere, but it only goes as far as we take action to build it. And we have to take that action. So I hope that every module that we provide to you through this mechanism, through this network, will allow you to go out and think differently about building a company and go out and start talking to people to go build that company. The fourth person is what I call the opportunist. That's somebody like me. An opportunist is usually someone who's built more companies, many more companies than just one. Why? Because now we understand how to build a company. We've done it several times, and we look at the foundational pieces. Is there a need? Is the need real? Can we build an affordable solution to the need? Can we get the solution to the people who need it? Whether it's driving it to them over the internet or physically having them come to us. How do we fill the need that we've identified for the market that we believe is out there? by talking to people, by getting people together and showing them that I have this solution. Could this help you? And they're going to say yes or they're going to say no. But you will start getting an understanding. So before you spend unnecessary time, unnecessary money that none of us have in building something, let's find out if the people or the businesses want what we're selling. Let's find out if we're really solving a problem. Because if we are, the customers will come, ladies and gentlemen. So in summary, there are 4 basic ways, and there are some other variables, but generally 4 ways to build a company. The industry expert who sees a better way that the big players are not paying attention to. The consumer who's looking to solve their own problem and goes and patches together a bunch of things that create the solution they're looking for. And the neighbor comes over and says, I need one of those. Wow. That's always an incredible feeling when that happens, because then you realize I'm not alone. I'm not the only one with this problem. I can help other people solve their problems too. The crazy inventor. And the crazy inventor keeps inventing things. Well, let's go look through the crazy inventor stuff and see if they've got something that can really help the community and not just make them feel good. Building a company is not about feeling good, ladies and gentlemen, and it's not about going to get money from other people. It's about being passionate about solving a problem, because then that will transcend and the money will come. So let's make sure that we look at things a little bit differently than everybody else has, because that's where we find opportunity. And I want to part this session by talking about one word that you may or may not be familiar with that I've learned over the years. This word is called contrarian. And I'm not sure how you would say it in other languages, but in English, a contrarian is a person who looks at the same thing everybody else looks at, but they look at it differently. They don't look, I'll see a scene or I'll see a business and I'll look at that business not the way everyone else looks at it. I'll look at it and go, gosh, I see an opportunity in that business that I don't think they see. So a contrarian is somebody who basically does not go down the road with everyone else. We take a different path. And that is truly what entrepreneurship is about. It's about feeling confident enough, testing what you believe to be true, and validating it. And we do those things, then we have created a foundation for a business that can help us prosper, help our family prosper, and frankly, change our community, our town, our city, and hopefully some of them will actually even change the world. Thanks for being here with us today. Check out Entrepreneurs Assembly. Look for some more feedback. We've got some great things coming. Bear with us. We're building this in real time with no money, just like you. Have a great day.
Hey, that was really good, and I hope you're picking up on these points. There's so much richness here, we can't let it go. Don't forget, this is Dr. Tom Griner saying it's God who gives you power to create wealth.